Hi everyone, my name is Amarina. So guys, before we continue further about this topic, we must first know what is corruption. In Cambridge Dictionary, corruption is defined as illegal, bad or dishonest behavior, especially by people in positions of power. In simpler words, it can also be described as an abuse or a misuse of power. Corruption is one of the main problems affecting the public administration of a country. Countries around the world have been dealing with this troubling issue for decades. In Malaysia, it is governed under Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009, and the body that is responsible to investigate and make an arrest for people who have been misconduct is Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC). According to the Act, to bribe or offer, accept or demand, or agree to receive a reward or benefit in return for performing or not to perform a task related to your job description is considered as corruption. Reward can come in many forms such as gifts, money, and many more. So now guys, let's take a look on one of the most hot incidents related to corruption in Malaysia, which is 1MDB. 1MDB was established in 2009, 4 months after Datuk Seri Najib Razak became Prime Minister of Malaysia. It was a government-run strategic development company that managed state's fund, and the fund was controlled by Datuk Seri Najib Razak himself. So, the first issue about 1MDB is it became one of the world's biggest financial scandal after it was widespread all over local and international news in 2015. The controversy led to the downfall of Barisan Nasional Coalition that had ruled Malaysia since Independence Day in 1957, leaving a historical moment for Malaysians. The second issue is 1MDB's fund was set up to finance infrastructures and other economic-related agreements in Malaysia. However, the fund spent a lot of money in producing movies such as The Wolf of Wall Street, buying casinos, champagne, dust heads, a painting by US artists, and finance other things belong to Najib Razak's family and cronies. And the third issue is after Najib Razak lost his position in Malaysia 2018 general election and the new government stepped in, Malaysia has recovered 1.6 billion ringgit of 1MDB's fraud money abroad, and a special task force is currently putting efforts to recover another 6.9 billion ringgit of money that has been identified. So now guys, we will move on to the possible reasons on why the incident happened. My friend Nazira will explain further about the reasons.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nazira binti Muhammad. So let me explain about the possible reason for corruption in 1MDB. So the first reason is greed. Greed is the urge to have more of something than appropriate, such as food and money. According to former Deputy of Prime Minister of Malaysia, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, she said that 1MDB is an example of leadership crisis, which is it a starting point lead to greed. Greed is happen when someone at the top level decided to make an profit without giving. So all those people behind this scandal is stopped listening to the values and ethics, and they decided to get into the greed. Okay guys, let me explain about the second reason of corruption in 1MDB. So the second reason is failure of governance. Why I say it? Because in 1MDB scandal, the poor governance can be seen through the ineffective oversight. In this scandal, in 1MDB scandal, the BSI Bank, whose license was revoked by Mas, 2016, which it related to 1MDB scandal. It have value connected to its name, including have a poor anti-money laundering, AML control, have a misconduct by employees, and also they have management failure. So this case clearly prove that it is a failure of control and poor culture in conduct the governance. As the last reason for corruption in 1MDB is political influence in rule of law. People or individual in political group will use their power and authority to cover up their mistake. Datuk Seri Najib, as an advisory board and finance minister of 1MDB scandal, has a veto power over his activity. He also fired his Deputy of Prime Minister and also the Attorney General in 2015 because they demanding 1MDB answer from him. The parliamentary also investigate the 1MDB scandal and they also found out that there are many irregulation in this scandal, but they do not have a power and authority to prosecute it. So that's all from me. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Nazira, for your explanation. So now we move on to the implications from the incident. My friend Hidayah will start first by telling you the first implication.
Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Hidayah. So now let's move on to the point of expected implications from One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB incident. The first point is the declines of ringgit value. 1MDB becomes the cause of ringgit value declining in the world market. It cannot be justified that just because of the falling of global oil price, ringgit value decline. This is because this issue has been going on over 1.5 years. It certainly happened more due to the losing faith in our government regarding many new disclosures about 1MDB scandal. Moreover, because of this incident, Malaysia currency reserve is knocked down by almost $2 billion, while the ringgit value had declined about 5% since November of 2019. Besides that, Bloomberg also had claimed that the newest report of 1MDB scandal back in 2016 attribute to the biggest annual drop of ringgit value since the year of 1997. Thus, this made Malaysia at risk to world market attacks, and it will be hard for our country to protect its currency. So, the conclusion that we can see here is that corruption cases, specifically 1MDB, give negative implication to our country economic state. So that's all from me for the first point of expected implications. Thank you.
Thank you, Hidayah. Great explanation. So for the second implication, I will pass to my friend Arisa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Arisa binti Mama Yusof, and I would like to continue of implication for One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB incident that become high price for low qualities. Corruption is the way these are made contract where our economic operation are carried out, leading to monopolies or oligopolies in the economy. Business owners who can use their connection or money to bribe government officials can manipulate policies and market mechanisms to ensure that they are sole provider of good or service on the market. Then monopolies, it is because they do not have to compete with alternative provider, tends to keep their price high and not forced to improve the quality of good or service provided by the market force that would have been in operation if they had significant competition. Included in this high price are also illegal costs of the corrupt transaction that were necessary to create such as monopoly. If, for example, a home construction company had to pay bribe to officials to be granted license for operation. This cost incurred will of course be reflected artificially high housing price. Corrupted economies are not in a position to function properly because corruption prevents natural law of the economy from functioning freely. As a result, corruption in the political and economic operation of nation causes the entire society to suffer.
Thank you so much, Arisa. So, for the last implication, I will pass to my friend Shafini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to my lecturer and my friends. My name is Nur Shafri Nazwa. The implication from One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB incident is give negative influence on administrative and financial performance and efficiency. This can cause poor government performance and negatively affecting the quality and performance of public service. 1MDB also affects the running of authoritative bodies by diminishing the nature of the administration. Also bring about poor quality as well as bureaucratic process. Practice may lead to abuse of the nation aptitude and labor, with numerous qualified and talented workers remaining unemployed.
Thank you, Shafini. So now guys, we move on to the ways that we recommend to solve the issues regarding corruption. Again, Hidayah will explain about the first way that we recommend.
Hi guys, so we meet again. Now I will be explaining to you about the ways to overcome the issues regarding corruption, which is 1MDB. So our first point is by increasing transparency, accountability, and also empowering integrity in public service. There are several ways can be taken by the government to ensure this. Firstly, by enhancing the public service delivery system in the country. So, this can be done by evaluation and modification of the rules, regulations, and procedures of public service. For example, the government strategy to come out with customer-oriented service, client charter, and also excellent service award. These positive ways will help the public servants to always stay at the right path and avert their attention from doing corruption activity that will affect themselves and also their organization. Next, public service transparency can also be enhanced by the signing of Integrity Pact. So, what is Integrity Pact? It is an agreement between the prospective vendors and the buyers not to resort to any practices of corruption in any aspect of their contract. For your information, this pact is also under the control of Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC). Secondly, improving integrity through Integrity Improving Program. For instances, the establishment of Special Cabinet Committee on Integrity of Government Management, the use of Code of Conduct and Code of Ethics in an organization, and also asset declaration. So, for those who fail to obey the requirement of those Integrity Improving Program just now, will have to face the consequences according to legal procedure. To conclude, by increasing transparency, accountability, and also integrity of public service, the issue of corruption can be restrained and solved by the government. So that's all from me. Let's move on to the next solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Hidayah. For the second way to solve issues regarding corruption, I am very sure my friend Arisa has something to say about it.
Okay, next is I would like to explain about ways to solve the issue regarding the corruption. The first of all, that is ways of an impunity and empower citizens. For the ways to avoid corruption from effective law enforcement, means it is essential to ensure the corrupt are punished and break the cycle of impunity or freedom from punishment or loss. Successful enforcement approach are supported by a legal framework, law enforcement agency, and an independent and effective court system. Civil society can support the process through initiatives such as Transparency International and the corrupt campaign. For the last, strengthening citizen demand for anti-corruption and empowering them to hold government accountable is a sensible approach that helps build mutual trust between citizen and government. And community monitoring initiative, for example, have in some cases contributed to the detection of corruption, reduce leakage of funds, and improve quantity and quality of public service. Thank you.
Next, ways to solve the issue regarding the corruption 1MDB is reform public administration and finance management, focusing on improving financial management and strengthening the role of auditing agencies. One such reform is the revelation of budget information, which prevent waste and misappropriation of assets. The government must show leadership and moral courage. The government also needs to demonstrate leadership and moral strength in taking responsibility for its action. Need professional expertise to study the situation and strategic options to deal with the crisis 1MDB is facing. Thank you.
In conclusion, corruption is indeed a country's biggest enemy. So guys, say no to corruption.